Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the October 5th edition of Topic Time with Harrison Young. Boy, what a beautiful Indian summer type day it is outside today. We had a wonderful drive-in, a little glary in the windshield department, but that's one of the downsides of just prior to when daylight savings time ends. But right now, of course, as usual, we have another incredible guest tonight. This gentleman here, this is David Vaccaro. He's the lead singer, of a band called Neon Alley, and tonight he's premiering a couple. He's playing. We're going to look at two beautiful music videos that he's done with his band. One of them is a premiere, and that's I'm so honored to have it on Topic Time for the first time. So for the next few weeks, that's where you'll get to see it once it is on Topic Time tonight. And the other one I just saw, they just released it a few days ago, and I saw that. It was incredible. We're going to talk about both videos. We're going to talk about the band in general and about his career in music and all that great stuff. But now we're going to talk to him and find out more about him, the man. So, Dave, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, Harrison.
Okay, well, you're a musician, first and foremost. You're in this great band called Neon Alley. So let's go back. I want to find out how you got started in music, how young you were, and how long you've been doing it, what kind of childhood you had in music, and all that great stuff. And you take your time because we get time. And then when you want to introduce the videos, you let me know, and we will. But in the meantime, let's break it down, think back as far as you can, and bring it forth.
Well, before I do that, I want to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, that was 2 days ago. Thank you very much.
But
yep.
I've got some stuff here for you.
Oh, great. He's giving me some presents.
I got you, I hope the T-shirt. I got you a Neon Alley T-shirt.
Wow.
And a couple CDs.
It out. I got to show this, baby. This is pretty. I like it.
It's not the right size. Just let me know.
Don't worry about that. I'm a medium. If you got a medium size, I got to open it up. Hang on. There we go. Look at that. Oh, man, I'm going to wear this with bells on. This is wonderful. Thanks.
And here's all my CDs. Two are from a band called V Project that I did, which I'll talk about.
Okay.
And that's the other Neon Alley CD, which is
Sweet.
brand new.
Love
so
it.
There you
Okay.
go. So anyway, back to what you were asking. I started playing when I was 13 years old, somewhere around there.
13, okay.
Yeah, my brother had a Sears Silvertone guitar.
Okay. Wait a minute. Sears? You mean you bought it at Sears?
Sears and Roebucks, yes.
Well, I've never heard of it. I don't know anything about guitar makes, but I would think that if it's named after a Sears guitar, it was purchased there.
Well, I'll tell you back.
It's
a Silvertone guitar.
Okay.
Which my parents, I believe, got through Sears Roebucks.
Oh, okay.
And so he had it.
What exactly does that mean, Silvertone?
Silvertone's it's just like an early guitar manufacturer. I don't know if they're still being made.
It's a company.
Yes, I know Jimmy Page. He had a nice one.
Okay.
Not like the one that my brother had.
Right.
But I don't know if they're still out there. But Silvertone was.
Well, it sounds to me like if it's not, then it's an antique. Do you still have it now?
No.
Okay.
No, I sold it to a buddy, and he spray painted it white, and I don't know what he did with it.
Silver to white.
Yeah.
Wow, that looks. Sounds like you made it look a lot older.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. Well, white. Well, silver's the white.
Well, I think you want to make it look like Jimi Hendrix or something.
Okay.
Yeah, because it kind of looked like a Stratocaster, but not exactly.
So you were playing. It sounds to me like you were playing before. You were 13, so you were probably in the middle school era.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yep.
And did you start taking lessons at that age?
No, I've taken one lesson.
Your whole life?
In my whole life. Yeah.
Wow.
And I took it when I was out in Los Angeles.
Okay.
With a guy.
What were you doing out there?
Well, that's when I lived out there in the 90s.
Okay.
So, I moved there for music.
Okay.
But I said, okay, I really should try and learn what I'm doing.
Yep.
Sure. And so I went and took a lesson from this guy. His name was Carl Verhagen or Verhagen, something like that. And he was a guitar player. He had worked with Supertramp and some other bands like that. And I went over there to his house and it was like completely intimidating because.
Wow. Well, how did you end up hooking up with the guy that worked with Supertramp?
I don't remember. Somebody gave me his name.
Okay.
And said he teaches. So I just went over there and we sat and jammed, and he gave me some scales to learn.
Just this one lesson with this guy that's worked with Supertramp. Wow.
Yeah, and that was it. But
okay. Why just one lesson though? You just felt you learned it all in one lesson?
No, because I was like, you know, I started doing practicing the scales and doing all that.
Okay.
But I got bored with it. I really got tired of doing it.
Well, you say you get bored with what? The lesson, or just doing scales?
Just doing the scales and trying to get faster and that sort of thing.
Well,
so.
all right. Wait a minute now. I have to you know, I have to break this down with some questions, because first of all, you say you got bored, but you wanted to play the guitar, but you know, like, no matter what it is you do, you have to learn the basics first.
Right, but that
boring
was
boring or not.
Out in L.A., that was when I was, you know, in my 30s.
Okay, yeah. But what does that have to do with scales? I mean, I'm just trying to piece together a puzzle. You were bored with scales.
Yeah.
So all right. Let me ask you this then. Let me see if I can read something into this. You were bored with scales. Did you just say, you know what, scales? Let's just do rock and roll right now? Is that what it is?
Well, it's sort of like that. There's different modes. There's, you know, Phrygian mode and Mixolydian mode or something like that. And, you know, he showed me the scales in those different modes.
Okay.
And, you know, it was helpful to some
modes
degree.
Meaning like major, minor?
No, they're different.
That's different on the guitar.
Yeah.
I used to play the piano, so I know a little about scales,
well,
too.
see, that's another thing. I can't read music, so I have no idea.
You don't know? Okay.
No. In fact, I'm always asking my bass player, Mike McDonald, I'm always saying, you know, what is this?
That wouldn't be the same Mike McDonald that was with the Doobie Brothers.
No.
Okay.
No,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
right?
I do, absolutely. And I usually make that distinction that it is not the same Mike McDonald.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay, that's fine. All right, well, so are you the only one in your band that doesn't know how to read music?
I don't know if... Mike knows how to read music. He went to Berkeley.
Okay.
The drummer, Mike Bengrazi, he teaches drum lessons. So
where? At Berkeley?
In Leominster.
Okay.
Yes, he teaches at a private place.
Okay.
He's got students and stuff. So I would imagine he does. I never asked him that question, so I don't know.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so you went out to L.A. for music. You pursued a career in music out in L.A. Why music in L.A.? Just wondering.
Sure. Well, I was playing in a band in Boston called Capital Gain at the time.
I've heard of them.
Yeah. We did. We were on like what is it? Rock Anthology Volume 7, I think, which was out. You know, it's got a little bit of airplay, and we got some
radio stations, WBCN maybe.
No, more WAAF. We had some stuff on like their local music channel, and sometimes they would play some stuff at noontime.
Okay.
You know, so. So we were doing Capital Gain in Boston, and we were playing at all these places like Bun Ratties and Club 3, the Jumbos.
How about the Rats?
The Rat. We played the Rat.
Okay.
We played the Channel.
Okay.
Katie's. I mean, I can't even think of them all. You know, we played like everywhere.
Right.
And but my buddy, a guy who I had worked with in a cover band before Capital Gain called Oz, he was a lead vocalist. He had left and gone out to L.A.
Okay.
And, you know, we talked on the phone, and I was doing, with Capital Gain, I did another band called V Project.
Okay.
And we were talking, you know, and he said, Dave, you know, you know, Boston is great. He said, but the music industry, if you really want to be around it, is, you know, it's either New York, L.A., or if you're doing country, you really need to go to Nashville.
Right.
He said, so really he said, you should move yourself to a music center. And he said, the type of music that you want to do, he said, I would recommend that you come out here.
Wow.
So I was like,
because that's where he was.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, so you did, and you took that one lesson, and I take it when you went out there, you didn't know you were going to be taking a lesson with the guy that...
No, I just did that just off the cuff.
Okay.
You know, I said, you know, I should just
but,
try.
All right, so you were in these bands even before you took your first lesson. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I did, like I said, I started learning guitar, teaching myself, you know, how to pick out, like, I would listen to, like, songs by a band called The Ventures, you know, and I would just kind of learn these.
They're the ones who did that song "Walk Don't Run," or "Run Don't Walk."
Walk Don't Run, yeah.
It's "Run Don't Walk," I think. Isn't
Walk Don't Run.
There's a "Walk Don't Run."
Yeah, and then they did like a version of Ghost Riders in the Sky and Pipeline, and they did.
So you're talking about classical bands from the '60s?
Yes, surf music, you know, Dick Dale, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And so I just started learning that and picking out those songs, and then when I got good enough, my buddies wanted to play guitar too, so
Yep.
we all kind of started, forming these kind of ragtag bands. And
Okay.
in high school, I got more into, an organized bands in high school.
Okay. Now, you played in high school with these bands. Did you perform at the school for the kids?
Well, not with buddies that you'd meet, yeah.
Right. Okay.
In class.
Did you have any gigs like? I mean, as young as high school, did you have any gigs like in clubs or anything? I know. If you're that young, and you're not even supposed to go into clubs because there's an age
Right.
deal. But I'm just wondering.
But
some people are precocious enough to get gigs, even in high school.
Well, we did a lot. We had this agent. His name was.
Oh, yeah?
His name was Norman Bloom.
Okay.
And he had an agency
Jewish
called.
agent. Can't get it better than that, right?
Silver Fox Music. That was
Okay.
the name of his agency, and he got us a lot of work.
Wow. Paid work.
Paid work.
Woo!
We played high schools and small clubs. Anywhere, everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, he kept us busy all through high school, and then when we got out, band changed up, different players and stuff like that.
But you stayed with it the whole time.
Stayed with it, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was before LA, of course.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many years elapsed just before that, between that and LA? Because in other words, I assume your friend out in LA was in a band with you after high school, and there was that, and it was sometime after that you went out to LA, right?
That's right.
Okay.
I didn't go out to Los Angeles until 1990s.
Okay.
Like November of 1989.
Okay, late '89. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So you
So
were
all through the '80s, we were playing in cover. I was playing in cover bands. We played at places like the Mohawk.
Okay.
We did a lot of opening shows for John Butcher Axis.
Wow. Do you know him personally?
I know John a little bit. I mean, I've
How
met
about
him.
Charlie Farron?
Charlie Farron, I met him briefly once. I worked with Derek Blevins,
Okay.
the drummer for John, in a band called V Project.
Okay, right. You were telling me about V Project.
Right, and that version of the band was an actual real band for probably 6 months.
Okay.
And we did some recordings, and we got some interest from Epic Records
Wow.
to do a showcase,
Yeah.
which we ended up never doing. But
Okay.
It just didn't pan out.
Depending on it. Sometimes they
Right.
don't, but I always say everything happens for a reason. And
Right,
eventually
exactly,
It will pan out when the time is right.
Yeah.
So that's when you went out to LA. So as far as LA is concerned, besides you took your one guitar lesson, you hated scales. What were your achievements out there?
Well, I started doing a band. First thing, as soon as we got settled in out there, I started putting ads out in a magazine called The Music Connection for different players.
Is it just a local magazine to that area?
No, you can get it anywhere. I mean,
Okay.
it's kind of like an industry magazine,
Sure it
but a
is.
lot of
Yep.
musicians were reading it because there was no internet,
Yeah,
there
of
was none
course.
of that.
Not yet.
And so I started putting together a band out there, which eventually formed. It was called Siberia.
Okay.
And we had this singer that we met at an audition, and he was in a Soviet. He had come here from Russia.
I was going to ask you how you got that name.
And he came in, and he had been in a Soviet band called Autograph.
So this Soviet, when you say Soviet band, I assume this was before the perestroika, whatever it was, when the wall came down.
This was all happening right about then.
Oh, yeah, right. Because
Yeah.
I know the timeline. 1989 is when it came down.
In fact, he was.
That's why I asked about, but I had no idea this was going to come up. This is wild.
Well, I don't know if you remember, they showed all the tanks and stuff
Sure I
in
do.
Red Square or whatever it was. He was.
I was 30, so I remember it.
Yeah, the singer, this guy Arthur Machiv,
Right.
who was working with us, he did a show called Rick Dees Into the Night. They kind of did one of his songs from Autograph.
Rick Dees, he's the guy that did Disco Duck 40
That's
years
right.
ago.
That's right.
Disco Duck. I love that song. I
Yep.
was a senior in high school when that came out.
Yeah,
Fall of
so
76.
he was on that show, and they were asking him about because his family lives in Russia.
No, not Rick Dees, this guy from the Soviet guy.
The Soviet guy, they were interviewing him.
Okay.
And they asked him, are you concerned about what's going on in Russia and all that?
His family was
and,
there.
Yeah, and he says, well, yeah. He says, but he says, I see all the tanks and stuff on TV.
Right.
And he says, I called up my brother and I asked him, what's going on there and with all the tanks and the soldiers,
Right.
And he says, his brother goes, oh, he says, oh yeah, he says that's down the square. He says, everything's fine. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah,
good. And everything did seem to turn out okay after a
Yeah.
while. It was a good thing that the wall came down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the Cold War was all about.
Yeah. Yeah,
Although it
exactly.
seems to be the way things are happening now, it might be reigniting, but we can't worry about stuff like that. We just got to
No,
go through
no.
life and enjoy it to the best of our ability. All right, so this because of that, you named the band Siberia. It was a pretty cool
Right.
band.
Yep.
And I'm sure your friend from Russia had a was much happier in the U.S. when he landed here, right?
Yeah, yeah, he was having a good time.
Sure he was,
You know,
okay.
and we sounded, you know, because of his, he had kind of a high voice, and you know his accent. He
Yeah,
sounded
yeah.
like we
Was he
sounded like
one
the
of the
Scorpions.
Was he one of the vocalists too?
He was the lead vocalist.
He was, okay.
Yes, and he was quite the showman. He was very good.
Okay.
Very, very good.
All right, now in terms of writing, now you say you were in a bunch of cover bands.
Yeah.
But the band you're in now, Neon Alley, is that the only band you remember of at this point, at this very time, at this time, present time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, now this is not a cover band. You were all original artists.
No, we do both.
You do both.
We
okay.
do both, and I've kind of always done both.
Oh, you have. Okay.
Yes, I've always done. We'll do covers and we'll do our own original music. It just depends, like, kind of where you're playing.
Right.
You know, a lot of times when you play out in the suburbs, covers are much more popular.
Really? Okay.
But then when you go into Boston, or you're opening up for somebody who's, you know,
Big.
semi-national or
Right.
whatever, you do your own music, and maybe one cover you do your own way.
Okay.
So it kind of switches depending where you are.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, I want to talk. I want to see if look at a video, because you have two videos that are
Yes.
going to be we're going to see today, and what do you say we watch the first video?
That sounds good to me.
You want to name the title, and then we'll just roll it, and we'll talk
This is
about it
sure.
afterwards.
This is it's for the first track on the CD. It's for a song called "That's How It Is."
Okay, let's watch it now, folks. Wow, what a video! That was incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
Jesus, well, let's talk about it. It's like it looked like a virtual reality video, sort of.
That's exactly what it is. It's a little sci-fi, a
Yep.
little bit virtual reality, you know, and kind of goes along with a little bit the song.
Yep.
You know, kind of different people, and you know, and you can see that she becomes different
Yeah.
people.
Now, who is she, by the way? Can you tell me the people?
Yes, her name. I've got all the.
Oh yeah,
kind of
read away.
characters.
Go, read away.
Her name is the main character, the girl who's wearing the virtual headset. Her name is Shannon Ash.
Okay.
And then there's other actors and models in it. One guy's name is John Punjatori, I think is how you say it.
Okay.
Manelva LaPlante, Nishant Joshi,
Okay.
Kristen
Now,
Armada.
wait a minute. That last one, Joshi. That's not the Russian guy, is it?
No,
Sounds like it,
no.
kind of. Okay.
No. Irina Yagai, I think is how you say her name.
Okay.
Emily Plant. Greg Trussell, who was a singer that we know. He's in a band called, he was in a band called New Bay Colony, but
Okay.
I think he's starting to do his own band now. And then we had a cameo by a guy, young kid playing the guitar, red hair.
Yeah.
His name is Tyler Morris, and
Okay.
he's like a guitar whiz. That
Wow.
kid is like amazing.
Sweet,
And
yeah.
then, of course, the band, Mike McDonald and
Okay.
Mike Bengrazi.
All right. Now, here's the thing. Talk about the band in general. How did they form? I mean, the current band, Neon Alley. And how long have you been? How long have you been a formed band? And how did you come to be?
I started after I had been doing like those 2 CDs there,
Right.
a band called V Project,
Right.
which was it's just a studio band,
Yep.
you know, and I did it with several different singers, a couple of which have, you know, some big name work that they've done.
Okay.
Robin McCauley, he was with a band for a while called McCauley Schenker Group.
Okay.
And they have a couple platinum albums.
Sure.
And then he was the lead vocalist for Survivor for
Is
a
that
while,
so?
like Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, I
Survivor.
know Survivor.
Yeah. So I did that, and then there was another guy, also James Christian. I can't say I really worked with him because we just happened to be at the right place at the right time.
Okay.
And we got to have him come in and sing. And he just like said, yeah, I can do that.
So basically, you have a guy from Survivor in your band.
Well, he's a guest vocalist on the first V Project CD called Lost Demos. And that's the one that looks kind of like, it's got like a Raiders of the Lost Ark
Okay.
cover, which actually has me on my front lawn that I,
That's
you know,
beautiful,
photoshopped in. And so I did that one, and the second V Project CD. And then, you know, my boys were young at the time when
Your
I
sons.
was doing that. Yes.
Now talk about your kids. You brought your lovely wife in today. Now talk about her too. She's your manager for your band.
She does a lot of work.
She did all the PR for you to me, basically.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you should definitely give her a little bit of
Oh,
kudos
absolutely.
here.
Yeah, my wife Joan, she is like does everything that
Yep, yep.
you know that she could possibly do for me.
Oh, cool. Yep.
And the band.
And the band. Yep. Cool.
So, you know, indispensable.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? So yeah, so I while my boys were young, you know, I just did the studio stuff. I didn't want to be out.
Okay. How old are they now?
They're in college. One
Oh,
is
they are?
Yeah,
Oh,
one
my
is
goodness, boy, you don't-
21, right?
Wow.
And the other's 19.
Cool.
And, so I had them play like on the new one.
Are they
but-
in a band too? Are they doing music at all?
No,
Okay.
they're college students.
Okay.
And but they both play. Like one of my sons plays saxophone, and the other plays trumpet.
But not in a band.
No.
Okay.
No. So you know, once they were older, I wanted to do I want to do a live band.
Sure.
You know, so I just started. I called up Mike.
Yeah.
He was the first person.
McDonald,
you know,
yeah.
And I asked him, "Do you want to do a band? You know, I'm putting a band together." And at first he said no, and then he, you know, surprised me. He showed up at my house with a bass and all this stuff.
You think he was kidding when he said no?
No, I don't,
pull your
because he
chain?
had sold it all. He had sold all
Oh,
his
okay.
equipment.
That's why. I was wondering
Yeah.
why he'd say no, and then okay.
Yeah. So then we put out. You know, once I had Mike, we started putting out ads for drummer.
Okay.
And we did that.
Where did you put the ads out?
I put them on a website called Bandmix.
Okay, I've heard of it.
And I also would go through it. I just keep like looking at all the drummers, and then I'd, you know, contact them.
Wow.
And so we got one drummer from the Worcester area. He lasted about a year, and then that didn't go. So then I went back to band mix.
Okay.
Started going through, and I found a guy named Scott Marion.
Okay.
And with Scotty, we set up a audition in Boston at a place called the Jam Spot.
Okay. Wow.
And we went in there.
Well, what is the Jam Spot? Is that like a place to audition people, or is
Yeah, well, it's a place for bands who they can't rehearse in an apartment.
Mixology of bands.
They need a place to practice.
Sure,
it's got everything. It's got your drums and your amps and stuff. All you have to do is walk in there.
You get to rent time for it and everything. Yeah, I understand. Of course you do. Yeah.
Then there's one in Wakefield, and there's one in Somerville.
Anything in West
The Jam Spot can give me 10%.
Give them some credit, absolutely. Okay.
So that's where we went in. We met Scott there. This guy Scott Marion, who had moved here from Detroit.
Okay.
And so we started. We kind of
Home of the
knew.
Ramones.
What's that?
Home of the Ramones.
Yeah, and MC5 and all those kind of bands.
Bob Seger.
Yeah, absolutely. And so he knew he had been in cover bands like us, so he knew a lot of the same kind of cover songs that we did.
Right.
So we just 2 hours we were just going at it, and when we finished, we were like, "What do you want to do?" And he's like, "I'm good."
Wow.
So that was like the core first version of the band.
Okay.
And Scotty is playing on the new CD.
Okay.
And then Scott, after about a year and a half, there were too many obligations for him, so he, kind of said, "Dave, I gotta leave."
Okay. Yeah.
And it was funny. Right about that same time, somebody must have told Mike Bengrazi about that we were looking for a drummer.
Okay.
Because he contacted me, and then he came and saw us at the Johnny Appleseed Festival. Okay. Mike McDonald and myself.
Where was that? Is that an outdoor festival?
It was in Leominster.
Okay, is that an outdoor festival?
Yes, it is. They have it every year.
Like the fall?
Yeah, it's in September.
Yeah,
it's like the third week in September.
Sure.
And so Mike McDonald and I were doing, we were playing at that, and he came up, "Hey, why don't we do a gig together? You guys looking for a drummer?" And blah blah blah. So that was it.
So all right, now I want to know you've done so the band in its current form has been in operation for a couple of years.
Yeah, but with Mike Bengrazi about 2 years.
2 years, okay.
Yeah.
So how did you put those videos together?
My wife, actually, Joan, was the catalyst behind that. We knew we had to do a video.
Right.
Okay. We did the CD. CD was coming out great, and so we said, "All right, you got to do a video."
Okay.
So we started contacting. She found a guy who is he's like a central point in the Boston area for all kinds of, if you're looking for
actors.
Yeah, if you're looking for not so much actors, but like grips and producers and music supervisors. He's kind of like a funnel for that, a nexus. Go-to guy. And he, Joan, she contacted him, and he gave us a list of different directors.
Directors. But what about the people that were in those videos?
That was the director that we ended up picking. His name was Vladimir Minuti.
Okay.
And we started discussing with him. He sent us some scenarios on the different types of ideas he had for the video.
Okay.
And once we solidified one, he just went to work.
Wow.
He started looking for the talent. He got all the talent, and then he'd say, "Okay, I got all these different people. They're interested. I kind of think we could look at these two for this character and these two for this character."
Okay.
And then we just kind of narrowed it down. And then once we solidified all the people, he basically we kind of set up a window of some dates, and then we just.
That's awesome. Where did you shoot the video?
We shot the video.
It's in one location, multiple locations?
That's how it is, the one that we just saw.
Right, the one we just saw.
That was all done at a place called Red Sky Studio in Alston.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, those guys, Vlad's crew, they are just amazing.
Oh, yeah,
they're
I can see that.
They're like a machine.
Yeah.
They'll be shooting, one scene, and then there'll be somebody else getting the next set ready.
Yep.
They'll get that ready, and then once we're done, they go to that set, and while they're doing that set, they're ahead. It's like leapfrog. They just keep going all the way around.
Wow, that's great. So the actors melded right in with that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. They started at 7 in the morning.
Well, of course.
And we got there
finish in one day?
For the first video, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. And we finished about 10 at night.
Well done. It's beautiful. Is it now?
Yeah.
Was that your first video ever?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. Yes.
And the one we're about to watch now is going to be the one we saw just premiered a few days ago. I think, well, maybe last week. But the one we're going to see now it's the world premiere on Topic Time, and I am so honored that David and his wife Joan and the Neon Alley people are going to honor us with the first presentation. So without further ado, you ready to watch? You want to name the video title and we'll watch it?
Yep, this is for the track I Only Want to Be With You.
Okay, well, let's watch, baby.
Car. Gonna dress like a movie star. Gonna do what I gotta do. 'Cause I just seen the perfection, and I wanna be a selection. When it comes to making 3 out of 2, it's why I'm waiting at your front door, and I'll be waiting at your back door, and I'll be standing at the side door too. January through December, the only thing to remember, it's true, is that I only wanna be with you.
Wow. That is unbelievable.
Pretty cool, huh?
What a love story video.
It's very nice.
I'm getting a lump in my throat.
Getting choked up, right?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I got to tell you something. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, that video, that so many of us that haven't done well with love interests, and I'm one of those people. I had a girlfriend a long time ago. She's got 2 grandchildren. I had nothing to do with that, thank goodness. But to see a guy like this, in a video, I know it's just a music video, to get roughed up by a bouncer, and then next thing you know is the girl he gets the girl anyway. That's a beautiful thing.
That's right. He's persistent. He stays with it.
He looks just like Urkel, the guy on that TV show. Talk about the people in this video, if you would.
Sure. Well, I'm going to name off the people.
Read it off.
Well, the lead character, his name is Jamal Eversley.
The other guy, you took because the person who looks like Rabil, his real name is Urkel. His real name is Jamal White.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, another Jamal.
So there you go, Jamal Eversley. He's
Jamal rules.
He's our main guy in the story.
He's the guy who gets the girl.
That's right, and the girl that he pursues is Kristen Dennis.
Okay.
And then we also have Gina Manning. I think she plays the photographer, if I'm not mistaken. And then Mickey Gilmore, who we spoke about, plays the bouncer.
Hope to get him on the show eventually.
Right.
Yep.
And he was telling us while we were talking to him, when we weren't filming, he's going to be in a Mark Wahlberg upcoming movie.
Yes, I know about the marathon movie.
Very soon. And he plays a Boston cop.
Right. He's got that. He's got the look he's got the cop-like look.
Yeah.
Sure, no question about it. Wow. Well, I talk about where you filmed that video.
That was done again. A lot of it was done. That was done the next day.
Yeah.
A lot of that was done at Red Sky Studio.
Okay, same place.
Yes, but we also went for some of the live, like the concert footage, the club footage was done at the Paradise in Boston.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah, a lot of people have been there.
I think it's in Cambridge.
Is it?
Yes. Mass Ave.
Yes.
I was there on August 4th, 1978. It was a Friday. I have a photographic memory for dates.
And what was the band you were seeing?
Well, as a matter of fact, it's funny you should ask. I was actually there to see Martin Mull. You know who Martin Mull is?
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing. Let me explain why. If you may remember, there was a TV show back in the 70s called Mary Hartman. Yeah. It was a soap opera. It was a parody of a soap opera. Martin Mull did a spin-off of that called Fernwood Tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, well, believe it or not, as an 18-year-old guy, I've been very creative my whole life, too, and I love sharing anecdotes about my life, too, and this is a perfect opportunity. I actually wrote, and I believe long before Topic Time, long before I ever thought I'd actually be hosting a real TV show, I wrote a script based on that, and I wrote myself in as the idiotic co-host, who was played by Fred Willard at the time. His name was Jerry Hubbard, in the old sitcom, not a sitcom, but the spin-off of the sitcom, Mary Hartman, a.k.a. soap opera, Fernwood Tonight, and I made myself the buffoon. Well, I thought, because Martin Mull inspired me to do this, I wanted to meet him in person. So I knew he'd be playing at the Paradise that night. So I had the cassette of the show that we did. Of course, cassettes long before the DVDs and CDs came along. And I went to the Paradise and I waited, just walked in there because it's a very small place. Yep. I didn't even know they were even in business anymore. I figured they probably were. And I sat down and I said, "Is Martin Mull going to come in? Is Martin Mull coming in soon?" And I went in the front way. I figured he'd be coming in the back way, but they didn't. The people at the bar didn't care. And in the meantime, there was another band from New York that was doing a dress rehearsal because he was actually opening for them, and I got a free concert just to hang in there listening to him. Finally, Martin Mull came in. I showed him the cassette, and I explained to him, "Hey, Martin, I'm such a fan of Fernwood Tonight that I did a spoof on it, and I'm in it. So if you ever want to hear it, here it is." And he didn't have a chance. He didn't have time to listen to it. Yeah. In the meantime, the people at the club were starting to wonder what I was doing there. And they said, "Excuse me, who are you? What are you doing here?" I'd actually called the William Morris Agency in New York to find out when Martin was coming in.
Oh, wow!
Right from their location, long before the advent of the cell phone, where nobody had them at that time except people that were worth $3 billion. Yeah. And I actually made that call right from their payphone to New York, and they didn't even know about it. And they were finally wondering what I was doing there. I already had a free concert. I got to listen to that band from New York, which was terrific. And I said, "Well, I'm just here to meet Martin Mull. I met him, and I'll be on my way. Thank you very much." And I walked out. Because he came in the front door. He didn't come in the back like I expected. Yeah. So I hope you like that story. And
well, the place doesn't, because I went there, I saw Molly Hatchet there a long time ago.
Great performer.
And the place does not look like what I remember.
It's not much bigger than our little studio.
Yeah, I just remember.
That's
it
what makes
different.
it a beautiful venue for a show.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did that, our live footage there where Mickey is,
Right.
hauls Jamal out of the club.
Right.
That was all done at the
that
Paradise.
was at the Paradise. My goodness, I should have known. I should have remembered it from all those years ago.
Yeah, and it was funny, when we finished shooting, the crew and Vlad, they packed up and were gone.
Of course.
Right? And I'm like,
They probably had another gig?
Hey, no, what they had to do was they had to shoot the last scene.
Yeah.
They still needed to shoot it while they had everything together,
Okay.
while they still had light.
Right.
Because
That's right, because it was dark.
It was
I
getting
noticed
close
that.
to the end of the
Getting to the end
day.
of the
So
day.
I was like, where'd they go? And they had to leave.
Okay.
But
your part was done.
That was part.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
we were just hauling our stuff out.
Okay, that was a beautiful video. I could tell. Now I could see from the background of the outside that there was the Boston area.
Yeah.
And Boston, Cambridge, and I was my parents actually. When I was a baby, they were going to college in Cambridge, so I actually got 3 years living in Cambridge during the winters of 1960 through 62, which is a ways ago. But it doesn't seem like it to me. All the years go by so fast. But yeah, I could tell that was a Boston area made video.
I'd have to look at it or ask Vlad. They have the GPS. Cut-ins that come in during the video. I'd have to ask
GPS?
him.
What was the GPS for?
Well, they show some scenes where it shows Jamal traveling on his motor scooter.
Oh, yeah, that's right, the motor scooter.
Yeah, and it comes through. I actually wonder if Vlad used pieces of Boston for that. I'll have to ask him.
Okay,
Yeah.
it looked like they were.
Yeah.
Well,
Probably.
listen, David, I want to tell you something. I'm an actor too, and I get a lot of gigs from Topic Time. I've interviewed a lot of filmmakers. They put me in their projects. I've also had 2 major roles in Shutter Island and Amistad.
Oh, Shutter Island, yeah.
I was playing a
saw that.
mental patient, a role I was born to play, and I worked directly with Scorsese.
Oh, cool.
So the reason I'm telling you this is because if you ever have if you want to do any next music video, I'd love to be in it. If you could find the time, the place for me, I'd love to give it a shot. If you give me an opportunity, it's up to you. It's up to you when you're director.
Yeah.
Obviously, you may not make that call.
I was going to say, I may take you up on that if the opportunity presents
I'm there.
itself.
By the way, you familiar with Sarah Silverman, the comedian?
I know her, yeah.
My cousin.
I don't know her, but I'm familiar with her, yeah.
She's my cousin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought
there
maybe.
you go.
Yeah. So I was like to drop that little tidbit of information if I haven't
Cool.
yet. Yeah, she's something. I'd love to get her on the show sometime.
I love. She was in what was the movie Rock and Roll?
Rock and Roll School of Rock.
Yeah, School of Rock.
2003. Yeah, she played the villainous girl who got called the cops on Jack Black's character.
Yeah.
And nearly got the school shut down.
Oh yeah.
She was the bad girl.
Yeah,
for
she
sure.
was.
And of course, she was also in Something About Mary, and she was had her own show on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
In fact, I saw her father just less than a month ago at my mother's 80th birthday party. He came to the.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, we're on Facebook together, and so.
Oh cool.
We had a little exchange this morning. He said, she's a staunch Democrat. Anyone who supports Trump is an idiot. And I wrote, I support Trump, and I don't really support him, but I wrote it just to piss him off because I think he's kind of a jerk. And he said, it figures. But enough about that. I figured that'd be a little nice. Again, another nice little anecdote to throw in.
Yeah.
But
that's good.
All right.
That's good.
All right. Well, that's wonderful. So what is now? Here we are. We're finishing up. 2016 has only got a couple of months left. What do your gigs look like between now and the end of the year?
Well, we're going to be playing at next gig that we have is on.
And when I say gigs, I mean besides gigs. I mean, do you plan on doing any recording, any more videos at this time?
No, right now we're just going full bore to promote the CD. The CD is just brand new.
And how do you go about promoting it?
Well,
obviously doing my show is one way, but what other ways do you go?
We're going to be doing a CD release party at the end of the month on the 28th at a place in Worcester called Michael's Cigar Bar.
Oh, I love the name of that. I've done some shows in Worcester, but I've never done one there.
Well, it's right behind the DCU Center.
I've done ones at Beatniks. I did one at the golf place. Remember the golf stop or something?
I know where Beatniks is. I don't know the other one.
Yeah,
but,
okay. It's not too far from there, I guess.
This is right behind the DCU Center or the Centrum for people.
Okay, the Centrum, of course.
And there's a really cool restaurant there. So if you want to eat and have dinner, it's called the restaurant is the People's Kitchen or the Citizen, something like that. So we're going to be doing a record release party there. We're going to be giving away T-shirts and some CDs and stuff like that. And just doing both covers and mixing our own songs from the CD into
Okay.
it.
Now let's talk about. I want to talk about the creative aspect of your music, of the band.
Sure.
Who does the writing for this? Who writes the song? I mean, not including the covers. Who writes the original songs?
The vast majority are from me.
From you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got a lot of music kind of squirreled away.
Okay.
And what I'll do is, I'll listen to some things and that I use everything from my cell phone to, I'll come home and turn on the recorder.
Anything that inspires you.
Yeah, and I'll just if I hear something, I'll just sing it into the phone or sing it into the tape.
And you run it by Joan too, and she'll give you.
No,
you don't do it. She's not.
No.
She's not part of that deal.
No, because
Interesting.
sometimes she can't hear my chicken scratches how they could be a song.
Okay.
So I've got to work them into a more polished.
Sure, whatever works.
Song.
Okay.
So I do most of the writing, and Mike McDonald also writes.
Okay.
And he does Piece of the Pie.
Okay.
And he sings on
Getting me
that.
hungry for pie now.
There you go, yeah. And so he'll come down, and we'll present songs at practice.
Okay. What do you usually practice? You practice in your basement, like a garage or something?
No, we have a rehearsal. Excuse me. We
Sure.
have a rehearsal studio that we've rented
Oh,
for
okay.
a while that we do.
Cool. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, all right. Now, I assume that I'm just wondering. Okay, do you ever play in your house? Because I'm wondering I get a sense maybe that like if you were in high school and you were doing like heavy metal rock in your house, you might get the neighbors to B&M about it, but that's not the case.
Well, actually, we used to when we were.
That's why I asked these questions.
We were in high school, and even after we were out,
Right.
we would kind of rotate the rehearsal to different guys' houses,
Yeah.
And I don't know how the parents put up with it, but they did.
Well, it's good because they figured that there was a big light at the end of the tunnel called.
I guess.
Reno.
And it depends where they were watching TV. If we were over in the basement over here, and then the other part of the house is over there, they could probably deal with it.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay.
But yeah, now that I, as myself, as an adult, hearing, the volume that we play at, I'm like, how did they do that?
Well, it's not that bad. I mean, I got to tell you, as a music critique, I'd say those songs they hinged on ballads, even though they were, and that's good. I always loved.
We wouldn't, to be honest. I mean, we wouldn't blast. You're
not a blasting type band. You're a rock band, and you like to make melodious sounds with it. And that's wonderful. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with the real, like Van Halen, all that, and Zeppelin too. But it's always nice to have melodious songs, even in a rock band. And I love that. I love the variance between a rock ballad and a heavy metal. That a band that can do both. The more multifaceted a band is, just like the more multifaceted a person is, the more opportunities you're going to have for success.
Well, those are, the melodic bands that are more melodic. That's kind of where I come from. That when I was learning to play guitar.
Who are your inspirations?
Well, bands like Aerosmith,
Okay.
Led Zeppelin, Bad Company, Tom Petty, Pink Floyd.
Who, by the way, was a friend of mine on Facebook, Tom Petty.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm reading his book right now by Warren Zanes. It's amazing.
I didn't even know he was a writer. I didn't know he wrote a book.
Well, he didn't. It's written by Warren Zanes,
Okay.
who was in a band called the Del Fuegos.
Oh, I remember the Del Fuegos. I'm trying to get Woody Giesman on my show. You know Woody?
No.
You know who he is, right?
No.
He was the guitar. He was the keyboard guy for the Del Fuegos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big heavy set guy.
Yep.
He talks about his. I got to tell you something. I know that unfortunately drugs take a lot of lives. People are addicted. There's a lot of opioid stuff going on right now, and a lot of the musicians that we know and love die suddenly oftentimes because of drug overdoses. And I know I'm taking a lighthearted. I'm going from a lighthearted subject to a serious one. But I got to tell you, I think to dwell on getting off addiction. I was an addict too once. I used to do drugs as a kid. And I got off at cold turkey. I think people need to focus on more positive stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I know it's important to talk about this stuff because it is a big problem. I realize that.
Yeah, it's becoming a big problem.
It totally is, and I admire any musician that doesn't have that problem. They can still just go through his career and create music without any of that stuff.
Well,
I'm talking about without doing something really bad.
I don't know if Joe Perry and Steven Tyler were the best influences for that.
They're not, but look what they did.
But they've recovered.
They recovered, exactly.
Absolutely, yeah. I've read Steven Tyler's book, and sometimes he gets.
You know who David Hull is?
Yes, I do.
He was a guest on my show a few years ago at the old station, and
Yeah.
we actually. It's funny because we had a video of him. Joe Perry has a separate band besides Aerosmith called the Joe Perry Project.
Joe Perry Project, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, David Hull played on the Joe Perry Project on the Leno
Charlie
show.
Farron too. Yeah.
What's that?
Charlie Farron too.
Charlie Farron too.
Yeah,
Well, we were watching that on. We recorded that on the show, like you recorded your videos on my show.
Yeah.
And then after it ended, he got all upset, like, well, maybe we shouldn't play this. Maybe we should cut that part out because they got lawyers on retainer, and we could be violating copyright laws. I really feel like I got screwed out of a nice opportunity for that. But time heals all wounds, and we moved on.
Yeah.
But there's no copyright on you were happy. Those videos you own, and you were happy to put them on my show, and I'm delighted.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So those were the guys, to go back there. Those were the guys
you. Yep.
that got me, especially Joe Perry and Jimmy Page are the primary guys.
Okay.
Pete Townsend a little bit.
Yep.
David Gilmour a little bit.
Okay.
He's so melodic, but really those are the guys that taught me how to play guitar, so to speak.
Well, you inspired you.
So I would naturally I'd write like that, versus kind of how some of the songs are today.
And just generally break it down. You've been to L.A. What venues have you worked in? I mean, have you been to New York? Have you been in? I know you say
never been to play. Never been to New York. I mean, we played some colleges, but not anything like in
the city.
In the city.
Okay.
No.
Well, I'm just curious. Where have you played? Have you gone out of the country to play anywhere?
No.
Are you planning to eventually?
No. Well, if it warrants it.
Right. Exactly.
But like in L.A., we played a place called FM Station, where a lot of kind of 80s rock style bands.
Static at all. I can't help but think of the Steely Dan song.
Yeah.
FM,
no, we played there. We played Whiskey or the Roxy. One of those.
Oh, the Roxy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Ever had a gig at the Hard Rock anywhere?
No.
Never? Really?
No.
Okay.
No.
I remember I covered a show there a few years ago at the Hard Rock in Boston, and I that time I was the tech as well as the talent. I had to take the equipment from the old station. There were so many people standing in front of me, I had to actually shoot the band on top of a pool table.
Oh.
But the manager didn't have a problem with that as long as I didn't muss up the felt, which I did.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, listen, we're almost out of time. Let's hear you give some shouts out to people because that's the amount of time we have left.
Sure. Give a shout out to my boys, Sean and Kyle. Hey. Shout out to the guys in the band, Mike McDonald and Mike Bengrazi. And shout out to my beautiful wife over there, Joan.
Absolutely.
And that's it. And to all the fans, come down to the record CD release party at Michael's Cigar Bar on the 28th. You'll have a good time.
Okay.
So a lot of fun.
They don't let you smoke cigars in there, though, do they?
Oh, yes, they do.
Oh, they do?
Oh, yeah. It's not just a name.
It's going to be hazy in there.
They
you might
have
have a hard time.
Yeah, well, they
seeing
have their smoke eaters, but they have a room that's like all climate controlled,
Okay.
and you want to get a nice cigar, you go in there.
But they have a separate room from the rest of the people who don't like smoke. Is that right?
No.
Really? So you have to put up with smoke if you go in.
When you
right?
come out of there, you're gonna stink.
It's not so much that. I mean, but like I have asthma and I can't do second.
Yeah, well, our bass player does too, but he's okay with it. I mean, it's not. They have the smoke eaters and all that really do take a lot of the smoke out.
Oh, all right. Well, that's fine. That's fine. That's awesome. Okay. So tonight, I'm just wondering, are you going to be planning on doing any writing within the next few days about any? I mean, do you ever write from experience? Songs, I mean.
Sometimes. I mean, a lot of times the way I'll write is I'll hear a riff.
Right, a riff? What do you mean a riff?
A riff, either guitar riff or like a vocal part.
Okay.
Like there's a song, Let Your Lovin' Come Down.
Right.
I heard the chorus as I was driving,
In your head, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay,
and I just said, okay, that sounds like a chorus. So I started I went home and I immediately sang, did singing into the microphone,
Right.
recorded, and then I'd start working it, or I'd get pieces of songs, and then kind of like Bryan Adams does.
Oh, yeah.
He'll take pieces of songs that he has, and he'll weld them together.
Okay.
And he does it excellent. I'm not as good as that, but
don't say that.
I'll take those ideas, I'll record them, and then I'll start working them into a song.
To a song. That's great. Okay. Well, I hope you had a good time. You were a wonderful guest.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And I hope that we pretty much covered everything you wanted to cover.
I think so. I hope people will come out and see the band
live
because we try to keep it fun and you know.
Okay. Well, keep it, and keep us posted on Facebook about when you're going to be on. Keep Neon Alley plugs, just so you know that once someone's on my show. By the way, you're on IMDb now too.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what that is, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
And any of the people that were in your music videos, if you're so inclined, I'd love to have them on as guests.
Yeah, I could send a email to Mickey and see if
Well, Mickey knows. Yeah, Mickey knows I want him on, but I'm talking about. I mean, Mickey too. But if you want to get
Vlad, see if you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Any of the directors, any of the people involved in the crew, and and the show itself, and the videos themselves, because I love music videos, and I was so honored when I got to be in a few myself.
Yep.
From people I've had on the show.
Yep.
And so that's it. And they would be great guests, and we're always looking for more ratings and everything. And I think they look like they're very talented people.
I should say that people want to stay in touch with the band. Go to our Facebook page, which is Facebook Neon Alley, Facebook.com/Neon Alley. And they can like us there because we put all our information there, and also they can go to dmvmusic.com and find out some background, my bio, and
I'll get it from this show as well.
Yes, and from the show as well.
And on that note, we're going to wrap it up, folks. Thanks for watching Topic Time. See you again next week, hopefully with another great guest. Take care.